Yo, what's up? Welcome to the YouTube channel. This is Peak Rattle, where all of us here we're aiming for the peak. To the peak. That's the motto of the channel. To the peak. You know what I'm saying? So, the lesson for today's video is a bit of a weird one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've searched the internet. I haven't really seen anybody talk about this concept or talk about this video at all. So I'm gonna claim it as my own. I'm gonna say like I'm the first person to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm original, I'm new to this. Don't quote me on that. But the name of this video, or the name of the concept that I'm gonna really break down in this video, is called emotional associations. Now, what are emotional associations? And I wrote it down right here because I was like, you know what? I might forget this shit because it kind of hit. You're gonna get the whole story, right? But I wrote it down right here under emotional associations. We as human beings have developed emotional associations slash connotations with people, places, things, ideas, and concepts that prevent us from changing despite how desperately we want to. Now, in that definition, I use the word in the definition, so you probably don't really even understand what that really meant. Essentially, what I'm saying is this: that as we go through our lives as human, thinking, breathing, eating, shitting human beings, we form emotional connections, we form emotional ties with persons, places, things, ideas, actions, thoughts, concepts, whether we're conscious of it or not. And in some cases, those emotional ties can become so deeply tethered, so deeply connected, that they condemn us to cycles and behaviors that could be positive, but more than likely they're destructive and negative. And they condemn us to behaviors that we desperately want to change, that we desperately want to get rid of. That is the definition of an emotional association. Now that we got the definition down, you still probably might not understand. Well, if you do understand, good on you. You're a smart cookie. If you don't understand, then don't worry. I got you. So, as it relates to emotional associations, let me give you a couple of examples. Let's take, I'm gonna pull up a caricature, but let's say that there's a person who struggles with eating, right? And let's paint a story. There's this person. This person's name is Jack. You know, he's a normal dude, 22 years old, and he works a normal job. I don't think the job doesn't matter. But let's say in this example, Jack recently had his mother pass away. Very sad thing. I hope that never happens to any of y'all. And if it has, my condolences to you. Hope that you've healed by now. If you haven't, you'll be straight, bro. Trust me, you got it. But Jack's mother died, and you know, it wrecked him. It wrecked him. It wrecked him. It wrecked him. Like, he felt that in his heart and his soul. The Lord knows I feel that in my heart and my soul, right? And to help with his grief, he took to eating food as comfort. Yeah. A lot of people have different ways of coping with extreme emotions. They have many different ways of coping with anxiety, coping with stress, coping with whatever emotions, right? And the way that he chose to cope with the death of his mother is through eating. So he ate chicken over there, ice cream over there, cake over there, donuts over here, yada yada yada, all the good foods y'all like to eat. Maybe steak if he was feeling bougie one day. Who knows, right? But he ate to soothe his grief. You know, now he's gone. Flash forward 6 months later. He's gone through a period of healing. Maybe he's got some help, or maybe he just thug it out on his own. Personally, I like to thug things out on my own. That's just me. That's just me. And now he's at a place where he's accepted his mother's death, and he can now move on with his life, right? But now, Jock, that nigga gained 30 pounds. I said Jock, right? His name is Jock. Okay, Jock. That nigga gained 30 pounds. Put that sound effect. Sorry, but he gained 30 pounds, right? And you know, can you really blame him? He took the food as comfort. He's been real now. he gained 30 pounds after the whole healing, and I was like, okay, I want to lose this weight. I don't want to have this weight anymore. Time to get back into shape. Time to get back to pulling. You know what I'm saying? That's his mindset. So he attempts to lay away, lay off the weight, lay off the food, and get back in the gym, start working out, this, that, and the third. The things that you got to do to make sure that your body is healthy. For a couple weeks, maybe for a week or two, he is able to keep himself, disciplined. He's able to abstain from all the fatty foods and stuff. But then a week and a half in, he snaps right back into eating food. He's like, all right, okay, looks like I need a trainer. Looks like I need to be more disciplined. Maybe I need a schedule, this, that, and the third, yada, yada, yada. So now he starts to implement a lot of different techniques. Excuse me. He starts to implement a lot of different techniques, a lot of different ideas that he saw online. Don't buy food in the food store, because the bottle starts in the food store rather than in the house. Replace this type of sugar with this type of sugar, or whatever. I don't know. I've never struggled with weight, in my opinion. I've struggled with weight on the opposite direction. I was a skinny nigga growing up, right? He's tried all of these methods, tried all of these techniques, this, that, and the third. But you want to know something? Nothing works, nigga. Nothing works at all. No matter what he tried, he keeps snapping back to the old routine. Now, this is a more elaborate example of emotional associations, and I'm hoping that you really see the connection that's going on. Due to his mother's death, he took to eating food. Jack, by the way, 22 years old. I don't know what job he have still. But he took to eating as his way for coping with grief, to find security and comfort. And even though he is past the initial situation of his mother's death, he has formed an emotional association with food. He now associates food with comfort and security. So whenever he is seeking that in his daily life, maybe he had a stressful day at work, maybe he's stressed out about his siblings or whatever, because siblings should be tight like this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe something's going on in his life. But because he has formed an emotional association with food, food equals comfort, food equals security, food equals solace. Whenever he is seeking these things, his mind unconsciously makes the connection. Whenever he has these emotions or the desire for these emotions, it could be the desire itself, his mind unconsciously makes the connection. If you want comfort, security, solace, and peace, eat. Stuff your belly. And that's a more elaborate form of an emotional association. Now you could see how this could become a problem. Sometimes, excuse me, you gotta let me drink water. I'm a human being too. Like, damn. You telling me you could eat food on the other side of the screen, but I can't drink water as I record this? Flicking hypocrite. Okay, I ain't glad I was unqualified. I'm sorry. But you could see how this could become a problem. He was eating as a way to cope with the death of his mother. He wasn't aware that he was forming an emotional association with food that would prevent him from getting back into shape. And this is how a lot of our emotional associations are formed. And honestly, the majority of our emotional associations are formed in childhood. They could obviously be formed, as you are an adult. Some of y'all have been in relationships, and now maybe you had a messy breakup, and now just the mention of your ex name causes you to turn your head like this, or just the mention of your ex name causes you to feel a specific type of way. You know that feeling. All of us have had that feeling. I shouldn't speak for everybody. You haven't had that feeling before, have you? Yeah, but you haven't had an ex before. You had 3 exes. How old you was again? Nigga, how you have more play than me? Sorry. You know what? Yeah, whatever. Right? Nah, that's my brother in the bar. But that emotion that you feel, just thinking about the person, you feel that little grip in your chest. Someone mentioned their name. Oh, you heard that so and so with such and such. You turn your head, you're like, what? That's an emotional association that you formed with that person. Or maybe the mention of that person's name disgusts you. whatever emotional association that you form. Now, I don't want to discredit emotional associations. Emotional associations could be very positive, could be a very good thing if you are conscious and aware of how they work. You could form an emotional association with an environment, with your workplace. As soon as you step into this room, you're locked in, you're focused, you on your grind, you locked in for 10 hours straight with whatever it is that you want to do. That could be a good emotional association. Maybe a good emotional association with the gym, a good emotional association with your partner. You know what I'm saying? Like, this person gives me peace. Just being in the presence of this person makes me feel peaceful. Or just the thought of this person makes me feel better on the inside. That's a good emotional association. But you wouldn't be here if you was dealing with good emotional associations. If you're trying to get rid of your good emotional associations, nigga, fuck you, bro. Give them to me. I want those good emotional associations. Just saying. But for the negative emotional associations, the majority of the time we form these associations unconsciously. We don't even know that we are causing ourselves, not causing ourselves, that we're locking ourselves in cycles and patterns that would be very, very difficult to break out of. Now, I'm not saying that you can't, that without my technique, you are forever condemned to your cycle. Things happen in life. There are a couple of other ways to get rid of these cycles, but they're a lot less reliable in my opinion. If you have any other ways, if you think that there are other ways to get rid of these cycles, comment. Comment in the video. Comment, do whatever. Comment. You know what I'm saying? I love to hear y'all opinions on this. I'd love for this to be a dialogue. I'm not gonna lie. But continuing on. You know what I'm saying? Where the hell was I? Flip. Where was I? The hell? How did I lose my train of... Crazy. You know where I was?
Yes.
Say it.
You're talking about how there's other ways to get rid
Okay,
of
boom. So yeah, there are other ways to get yourself out of these negative cycles for good. But I low-key found this is the most reliable way, right? So the answer to your problems, how do you get rid of these negative emotional associations? You know what I'm saying? Don't get mad at me. What the answer is, maybe you tried it before, maybe you've heard about these techniques before, this, that, and the third. It's whatever. But the best method that I found to get rid of these emotional associations, but not necessarily we get rid of these emotional associations. There's a reason why I put it in quotation marks. It's through the use of visualizations. Through the use of visualizations, you can get rid, well, not necessarily get rid, but you could break up and dissipate the energy or the emotions around the thing in question that you have an emotional association with through the use of visualizations. Now, how does this work? Right? So, you know what? I didn't even tell the story of how did I even get to this in the first place. Like, all right, so I'm about to get a little personal. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my personal life, because why the flip not? Y'all can't dox me anyway. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. But one of the biggest problems that I've had in my life recently is a habit problem. Like, I don't like to sleep for shit. Right now it's what time is it? It's 12 in the night. This is early. This is considered early for me. 1 o'clock is considered early for me. Like, consistently I'm sleeping like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Like, consistently that's the time I be sleeping. And what do I be doing up at night? I be watching YouTube. I be watching anime. I've been recently getting into Love Island. Don't clown on me. I like romance a little bit. Not gonna lie. But no matter what technique I employed, I could have never got myself to sleep early consistently. I might be able to do it for 2 days, but after those 2 days, I literally snap back into the habit even worse. Like, usually, let's say for example, I'd usually sleep 3 a.m. consistently every night. Let's say for 2 days straight, I was able to go sleep like 10 a.m. or 10 p.m., 11 p.m. Bro, the next day, I literally end up pulling an all-nighter unconsciously without even realizing it, right? And I've employed many techniques. Discipline. Yo, just be more disciplined. I've set ground rules on myself. I've tried locking my devices in different rooms. You know what I'm saying? Like, putting my devices in the living room before I go to bed. I've tried to set ground rules for myself. You know, like, don't bring devices into the bed. Yada, 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 this, that, and the third, right? None of that shit worked. None of it worked. I tried journaling with it too. It did not work, bro. So now I recognize, okay, I have this unconscious association with content consumption and sleep. And the emotion that I was able to link through self-awareness. To employ these techniques, you're gonna need a level of self-awareness. The emotion I was able to like really hone in on, the emotional association itself is comfort. Comfort and a feeling of, man, I worked hard today. Let's just rest and chill. I deserve a little break. I don't know what to call that emotion specifically, but that's the sense I get, right? I have an emotional association with that. So one Saturday morning, after, because I had somewhere to be that Saturday morning, I think I only got like 3 hours of sleep. I woke up and I was like, man, this shit cannot continue. This shit cannot continue. Nigga, I am going to die. Like, I'm literally thinking to myself, if I don't properly sleep properly, if I don't properly sleep properly, I am going to die, bro. Because, like, I've heard that bad sleep, like, if you got consistent bad sleep as a young person, you have a higher risk of Alzheimer's in the future. I don't want to be a forgetful 80-year-old, bro. Nigga, I want to be sexy when I'm 80 years old, bro. I want to be sexy. I don't care. I will be. Watch it. I'm claiming that now. But I was like, yo, if I don't get my shit together, it's going to be a big problem. So I was like, okay, how do I get rid of this problem? I've tried every logical means to try to get rid of this. I've tried journaling. I've tried meditating. I've tried tracing back where this habit started. I was able to successfully do so. But for my technique, you don't even need to know where the emotional connection comes from. It doesn't matter, personally, right? So I did all that. None of that shit worked. So I'm like, okay, if I don't deal with this problem, I'm gonna fucking die. So what's the real issue? What's the real nature of my problem? And then the thought just popped in my head. My problem is a deeply emotional one. I have a deeply emotional reason for continuously consuming content so late into the night. So I was like, okay, the unconscious desire to consume content really only comes about when a certain emotion arises within me. I was like, okay, how can I deal with that emotion so that I'm able to process it, and by processing it, dissipate it, so that I have no emotional association with content and sleep. So I thought about it, and I'm glad this is a long rant. What the fudge? But I thought about it, and I was like, it's through the use of visualizations. And I'm gonna keep this very simple. It's a very simple thing, right? Through the use of visualizations, you could dissipate whatever emotional connotation that you have with the thing in question, whether it be a person, place, thing, idea, concept, or action. You can dissipate it through the use of visualization by visualize. And how do you do this? You visualize a reality or a version of reality, same difference, where you have a neutral association with the thing in question. You would ask yourself, okay, if I did not have this kind of connection with the thing in question, so I'll take my sleep, I'll use myself as an example. If I did not have this kind of connection with the content and sleeping late, what would my life look like? I asked myself that question. How would my life be different? What would my life look like? Right? Ask myself this question, yada, yada, yada. And I just said to myself, one, I wouldn't be so defensive about content. Like I wouldn't be so defensive over my devices. I wouldn't be like, oh, I gotta be wary. I gotta make sure I'm not wasting time. That wouldn't even be a concern, because that's not a problem that I deal with. The next thing, I would be sleeping whenever I choose to. Not sleeping early, because, I wouldn't be so focused on sleeping early. I'd be sleeping whenever I chose to sleep. You know what I'm saying? A next difference there would be, I would have no emotions tied to my devices, these devices in front of me. I'd have no emotions to it. I could pick it up, I could put it down, I could put it away for a week if I choose to put it away for a week. I could binge watch shows for a whole day if I choose to, and it's nothing to me. So what you want to do, you want to visualize this reality where you have no emotional connotation, no emotional association. And what does that look like? Now, don't get too caught up in the details. In the past, when I was recommended visualizations, I used to get caught up in like, oh, I gotta make my visualizations as detailed as possible. They gotta be the perfect visualization. It gotta be a perfect picture. What the flip? It gotta be a perfect picturesque movie scene. No, don't matter how detailed the visualization is. What you want to focus on is the emotion or the feeling that it engenders within you, right? And that feeling that it engenders within you is neutrality. You want to imagine a reality. The goal is to imagine a reality or a version of yourself where you are neutral towards the thing in question. And if you're neutral towards something, there's no positive connotation, there's no negative connotation. You just see the thing in front of you, you use it when you want to use it, you indulge in it when you want to indulge in it, you put it away when you want to put it away with it. You're not on edge about it. You could think of it like your towel. Like, treat the thing, if you need a better way to like structure it in your head, treat the thing in question that you have a negative emotional connotation with, emotional association with, like your towel. Do you be stressing about your towel? Like, when you go to the shower, you just pick up your towel, put it on the side, do your business in the shower, come out the shower, wrap yourself this. You're not too focused on your towel. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a towel. Why am I stressed over it? That's the kind of emotion that you want to engender within yourself through your visualization. And the reason why I say to visualize is to help you get a clearer grasp of what that emotion feels like. When you could get a clearer grasp of what that emotion feels like, you could use that emotion to counteract the emotion that is tied to the thing in question. I could use the emotion that my visualization brought me to essentially not fight back against, I don't want to say fight, but essentially dissolve the need for comfort, in my example with content consumption and sleep, the need for comfort that my devices bring. And now, I'm not sure how long this video gonna be long as hell long. 26 minutes? The fuck? Okay, time to finish this. All right, so some of you might have some doubts, and that's basically how you do it. Let me see what did I write. The way to get rid of them is through the use of visualizations, to imagine a reality where you have no emotional association with the thing in question, where you are completely neutral towards the thing that you have an association with. The most integral part of associations, emotional associations, is that the emotion causes you to act in ways that are out of your control. So the goal of the visualization is to help give you a counteract emotion so that you could help break up and dissipate the emotional association. Once you understand and feel within yourself what that emotion, that neutral emotion feels like, whenever you feel the original emotion, for my example, comfort, the desire for comfort, whenever I feel the desire for comfort as it relates to my devices, all I got to do is think back to the visualization that I created for myself and let that emotion fill me up and focus on that emotion. By focusing on that emotion, I no longer give the emotional association with my devices any precedence. I no longer give it value. I no longer give it attention. And by doing that and constantly focusing on the counteract emotion, the emotion from the visualization, I get to break up and dissipate the emotional association. And through time, over time, it becomes neutrality. I become neutral towards these things. It's either or to me. I could pick it up. I could put it down. I could bop it, twist it, squeeze it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I want to do with it, right? I'm a weird nigga, bro. All right, but that's it. So, what did I write out? The most integral part of associations is that the emotion causes you to act in ways that are out of your control. So the goal of the visualization is to help break up and dissipate the emotional association, to free up space in neutrality so that new associations of your choosing can be formed. That's the whole point. Now, some of you might have some doubts and say, visualizations don't work. That's bullshit. Visualizations do work, and I can prove it to you right now in about 2 minutes. I know I don't gotta watch on my aunt. You don't gotta quote me on that, my nigga. Don't call me that, right? So, for the fellas out there, for the niggas out there, right? You've watched some Ocean movies, you've watched some Ocean Park movies, or you've listened to some maybe you've listened to some violent music or whatever, right? Or just music that's get you hyped, right? You've had power fantasies before. You put yourself in the shoes of the main character before, or you've been in a movie, or you saw like one of those underwater scenes, and you held your breath during those underwater scenes. I know you have. We all live in a simulation. We've all lived the same life, my nigga. All of us have done that before. You felt the emotion of being the action hero, of being the main character of the story. You felt the adrenaline of whatever situation that you put yourself in. Try Inception if you watched that movie before, or Interstellar. But yeah, you've done it before, and because you've done it, you felt that emotion within yourself. If you could generate an emotion within you just by visualizing, just by thinking about it, think about the movie, put yourself in that main character's shoes, you will generate that emotion within yourself. Or think about a past situation that you've been in before. You will feel the emotions of the past situation as if it was happening in front of you right now. That's just the truth. For the ladies out there, maybe some of y'all watch Love Island. Put yourself in some of the shoes. Okay, maybe Love Island is a bad example. I'm only on episode 4 right now, so don't at me. You know what I'm saying? But maybe you've watched some fantasy, not fantasy, so some love story before. You've watched some love story, right? You put yourself in the shoes of the love story. You know what I'm saying? You felt that little of the love story. Visualizations work. You visualize yourself. You've imagined. Visualization is imagination. You've imagined yourself as the main character of that love story, and you felt the emotions like as if you were actually in that story. You know what I'm saying? So visualizations do work. It's the same concept. You want to get a grasp of what that emotion feels like. That counteracts your emotional association, and then you just want to flip in every time you feel the emotion or the emotional association coming into play, or you see yourself indulging in the emotional association. You see yourself indulging in emotional association, in my example, you know what I'm saying? Just close your eyes and recenter yourself in that emotion. By doing that, you generate neutrality within yourself.
31 minutes.
Cut. By doing that, you recenter yourself in neutrality. And this is how you deal with your emotional associations. I truly do thank y'all for watching. If y'all have any ideas, if you have any ideas about this, put it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like I said, with all jokes to the side, I know I've been smiling and laughing this whole video, right? But seriously, I had some time to like think about what I wanted this channel to be, how I wanted it to be structured, and why I was making this channel, right? Now, of course, I'm not gonna lie to you. I do want money. I don't care for fame. Like, I don't necessarily care to be known for it. I'm not gonna lie, but I do want money. Give me money. You know what I'm saying? Like, money could help a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? But the main reason why I created this channel is because I wanted to help as much people as I possibly can. That's the main reason why I created this channel. Like, I've learned experience. God has taught me so much through experience. I've had so many L's in life, and I'm only fucking 17. I've had so many L's in life, and I've really reflected on those L's on such a deep level that I feel as though that I could help so many people with the lessons that I've learned. And, you know, my friends and my brothers have always been telling me, you're so good at explaining things. You're so good at breaking shit down. I hope this video I hope this video is not proving me wrong right now, but you know what I'm saying? I just want to help people. I want to give people the tools and the abilities to like flipping take control of their lives and to really steer in the direction that they want to steer that what the fuck? I really want to give people the tools to steer their life in the direction they would like to steer their life. So enjoy the videos, man. A lot more is gonna come. I might change up the content in the future. It's whatever, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, I want to help people. And this whole channel is about going to the peak. That's why I named it Peak Rado. You know, Rado is my nickname, and Peak Rado. I'm always seeking to be the top of whatever it is that I choose to do. And if you are going to be a part of this community by liking and subscribing and commenting down below, shameless plug, I know. But if you are going to be a part of this community, like, this is how I see it. If we're going to live this life, and we're all going to die someday, and if we're going to live this life, if we're going to be here every day, might as well do the best that we can, can't we? Might as well max out every stat that matters to you. Don't just do side quests for the sake of side quests. And if it doesn't matter to you, completely drop it. Only give your time and attention to things that actually like puts a fire in your soul. But if it's worth doing, it's worth doing well. How you do anything is how you do everything, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't think this book had that in it. I just started this book, you know what I'm saying? But really, this whole channel is about to the peak, to the peak, to the peak, to the top. Whatever it is that you're doing, be the greatest at it. Be the best at it. Be the best you can be, and then go even further beyond that. You know what I'm saying? I hope you enjoyed this video. This is probably one of the longest videos I have made thus far. Nah, it is the longest video I've made thus far. I'm gonna have a fucking nightmare editing this shit. Enjoy my suffering, because you know my suffering is for y'all benefit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is some good shit. This is gold. If you have any other video ideas, or if you have like a topic that you'd like me to talk about, like, I know a lot of shit, but I also don't know a lot of shit at the same time, so I'm constantly learning every day. But you know, if there's something you'd like me to talk about, put it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Did you think I was bullshitting in this video? Did you think my ideas was wrong? Did you think my concept is shit? Or maybe you want to like trash on the bonnet that I have on my head right now. Whatever it is, put it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. I accept any criticism. I don't necessarily give attention to negativity though. Like, all love at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So have a wonderful day. Enjoy life. I hope this shit actually like helps you in life, like it is helping me right now. And honestly, with this method, you should start to see some changes in 3 days. Just give it 3 days. Honestly, I started to see changes on day 1, but give it 3 days. If you're doing it right, you'll start to see some changes in the associations. Not drastic. It does take some time. I'm not sure how long. It depends on how deeply ingrained the emotional association is, but it takes time. Well, that's it. Love y'all. I'm not blowing no kiss towards this camera, bro.